The girl never managed to truly like that object, even though it was her grandmother's last gift. Just looking at that painted smile on the wood made her feel trapped, anxious, and if she stared at it for too long, she could even feel her hands trembling. She tried to get rid of the doll a few times, but whenever she was about to do it, her grandmother's words came to mind, "Keep it with care and I will always be with you." And yet her mother insisted that the memento be kept. When she had her friends over, Olivia made sure to hide the gift inside the wardrobe. Only a few of them, the most adventurous and daring ones, ended up seeing the painted features and the doll's joints, and they were all enchanted, feeling none of the discomfort of its owner. Years passed, and Olivia, who was once just a little girl, had now become a beautiful woman, bold and independent. Her blue-dyed hair strands reflected this well. In this transition, she left everything from her childhood behind to live in a house in the city, or almost everything. Her mother insisted so much that she take the doll with her, and there was no argument or explanation that could change her mind. So soon enough, the object was there under the dresser. The same smile, the same appearance, everything was there along with her, including the fear and chills. But as mentioned before, Olivia had changed and could no longer live in the shadow of such irrational fear. However, unlike what naturally happens, the girl's apprehension did not give way to calmness, but to anger, so devastating and accumulated that Olivia began to mistreat the doll. After all, her grandmother had died a long time ago, and she certainly wouldn't care about what she was going to do. In the first few days, she just cursed the object, silly insults, as if she still wasn't sure what she was doing, but a little more confidence was enough for her to start kicking and throwing it against the floor and walls. But even that only served to further inflame the girl's rage, because any other toy treated like this, even the most resilient, would show some damage, but that damn doll wouldn't. It remained perfect, not a single chip. It was time to put an end to this. Some people passing by on the street looked strangely at the scene unfolding in that backyard, but the girl felt satisfied. Seeing that doll reduced to charred logs was gratifying, and the more the fire burned, the more liberated Olivia felt, and she only left when there was nothing left to be consumed. This would be the first time in a long time that she would sleep in peace. However, during the night, a feeling of nervousness disturbed the girl's dreams so suddenly that she had to breathe deeply several times to calm her heartbeat. "She's not even here anymore," she said to herself, and she barely finished the sentence when she heard a noise in the house, a thud on the floor that echoed into Olivia's ears. She didn't know why, but that was enough for a huge shiver to run down her spine, and then another noise was heard, this time softer, like a step, and then another and another. It could be something silly, a sneaky animal, but that didn't calm the girl at all. Her body felt the fear growing more and more, her hands trembling, and her heart beating so fast it could almost be heard. Under the light of the bedside lamp, she searched for what it could be, but the darkness beyond her bedroom door did not reveal the owner of the footsteps that were getting closer. Olivia curled up in bed, like a child would. The noise ceased, but she knew that whatever it was there, lurking. She could feel its threatening and cruel gaze. She didn't have the courage to get up. Instead, she turned on the flashlight on her phone and pointed it at the door. Nothing. Her breathing was heavy. Maybe it was all in her head. She calmed herself with a sip of water. She always kept a glass on the dresser. It was when she felt something touch her face, thin and soft. Her fingers rubbed the spot and turned black. She looked carefully. Soot. But it didn't make sense. Where did it come from? It was when the image from earlier invaded her mind, the doll's small body being consumed by fire, leaving only charcoal in its place. It couldn't be that. She looked up with trembling eyes and found her haunt there, childish fear, the doll that then fell on top of the girl, staining everything black. Olivia screamed with all her breath for help, and that was enough to alert the neighbors who called the police. But this alarm didn't drive her away. The doll, or what was left of it, writhed weakly and grabbed the girl's face tightly, and she could only struggle to get it off. That's when she spoke. The doll spoke, its voice deep as if coming from a cave. "You just had to treat me well," and then kissed Olivia on the cheek, making her scream for help again. In an act of desperation, she managed to throw it to the ground and run, or at least try. Something was wrong. Her legs didn't respond as they should. She looked at them and saw wooden scratches forming on the skin, stiffening every movement. Yet she kept crawling, her body no longer producing the sound it should, just dull thuds on the floor and the sound of joints. Someone knocked on the door, the police, but her mouth no longer responded either. It was also stiff. She hit her cheek with the still good hand, and the sound was disturbing wood. She couldn't move anymore, scream for help. Not even her eyes worked anymore. They became glass. The last thing she saw was the doll smiling. When the police finally broke down the door, they found nothing. No sign of robbery, blood, nothing. The rooms seemed in order. In the bedroom, the same thing. Everything in place. The bed made, including the doll with blue-dyed hair on top of the dresser. But strangely, the homeowner wasn't there.